Chapter 1. The chase begins. You are listening at FameTV.info. Night. A group of cars storm across the New World City highway. In front of them, a blue car could be seen charging forward, advancing maniacally as if the driver has no fear of death. Slam it. Get that half-breed. Inside one of the pursuing cars, sat a half-human half-pig looking creature, shouting loudly as he stretched his left arm out, and his palm that had been replaced by a crossbow was now visible. Yelling and shrieking could be heard from the group of non-human pursuers, advancing through the highway as they closed in on the blue car. A young man sat inside the blue car, his blue eyes turbulent. He checked the rear-view mirror, to figure out the extent of his lead over his pursuers. They were close. But the young man adjusted his seat, his eyes fierce and battle-hardened. He depressed the pedal instantly, shifted the gear and immediately spun the wheel as the car drifted into the curve in front of him. He /s getting away, said one of the pursuers, and two figures on motorbikes raced past him, towards the blue car. All of a sudden, the young man swung open the door and raised his hand, as his palm began glowing red. Boom! A ball of magma shot out of his palm and onto one of the motorbikers. A terrible impact. Thud. The motorbiker was thrust back, and as his body grinds under one of the pursuer's /cars, the motorbike, now without its rider, flipped sideways and collided with the second biker, rendering him immobile as well. Whoosh! One of the pursuit cars came alongside the blue cad, and inside it was a creature with a rodent head, smiling devilishly as he stared at the young man. I/ve always wondered what the flesh of a half-breed tastes like, he said as he licked his lips. He took out a rifle and positioned himself for a shot, but right before he fired, the young man slammed his foot on the brake and the blue car immediately moved back and positioned itself right behind the rodent head /s car. Boom! The bullet completely missed its target, but before the rodent head could slow down to match up with his speed, the young man steadied himself and shot out another ball of magma, this time aiming at the car /s back tire. Bam! The rodent head /s car wobbled a bit, and then flipped in the air, before crashing to the ground with a loud noise. Two of the pursuit cars who were following close behind were unprepared, and as a result, crashed into the rodent head /s car. Wham! The two cars were done for. Useless pigs. What the hell are you morons doing? The half-man half-pig screamed in anger, his fist tightly clenched. He pressed the accelerator down with such force that the car bolted forward under the sudden burst of speed. I want you dead, half-breed. The pigman screamed, as he pointed his crossbow at the blue car in front of him. Whoosh! The arrow shot forward, and the young man responded by hitting the nitro and accelerating way out in front, causing the arrow to miss its mark. Wham! The young man immediately pulled the handbrake, executing a 180 degrees turn and put the car in reverse, as he lined up with the pigman. You little! The pigman grinded his teeth, as both him and the young man stretched their hands forward, aiming at each other. Zoom! The arrow shot forward, but it was no match for the magma ball fired by the young man. The moment it collided with the magma ball, the arrow disintegrated into nothing, and the magma ball shot forward, continuing its motion. The magma ball struck the pigman right on his face, causing his head to explode, spraying the car with blood and brain. Boom! The pigman /s car, now driverless, swung left and right before flipping sideways and crashing. The young man did another 180 degrees and turned the car around, and continued driving without looking back. The young man wiped his forehead as beads of sweat began to trickle down. He was completely exhausted. He drove for hours until he reached in front of what looked like an old and abandoned office building, and stopped the car. The young man then got out of the car and walked towards the entrance of the building, moving his hands forward to open the door. Bam! But before he could do that, the door was pushed open from the inside as a figure leapt in his direction, and pushed him down to the ground, causing the young man to let out a short grunt. Grr. The figure on top of him growled, revealing a dragon-like creature with a large body and 2 wings that was sitting on top of the young man, and slowly moved its face towards him. Slurp, the giant creature licked the young man's face, and the man let out a soft chuckle as he nuzzled its face, causing the creature to wag its tail as if it was a puppy. All right. Stop it, wolf. The young man spoke out loud in the middle of the licking, which caused the creature to pause what it was doing and moved back, giving the man space to get back up on his feet. The creature, named Wolf, watched curiously as the man wiped the dust and saliva off his face, then walked towards Wolf and petted his head, and the creature let its tongue down. After petting the creature for a few seconds, the young man walked towards the door labeled stairs, and opened it. He then climbed up the stairs and up to the 2nd floor, where only a bunch of empty cubicles and a single office room remained. The young man entered the office room that had its glass walls covered up with tables, cupboards and cardboard pieces and sat down on the one chair inside of the office, exhaling as he leaned back with a relaxing expression. I can believe it it's been only 6 months. He let out a sigh as he remembered how the world turned into such a terrifying place. 6 months ago, ugh, this is way too high. Noah thought to himself, as he stood on the steel railing of the Baxtwell Bridge. His eyes, which were focused on the Injrum River below him, slowly shifted to his sides, looking left and right to make sure that no one was present. Yeah, I guess that is to be expected, Noah sighed. It was already night time, and in a place like Astrid Street, that meant not many people could disturb his late-night activities. He then looked down once again, and after a few seconds of contemplation, Noah raised one of his legs forward, leaving the railing and letting it levitate in the air as he prepared himself for the next step. I can do this, he said to himself repeatedly in an attempt to try and reduce his fear, but to no avail. It'll all be over soon, but even after 5 whole minutes had passed, Noah still remained on the railing, unable to let go. With a sigh, he pulled back his leg and crouched down on the railing. Forget it. Maybe I'll try again tomorrow, he said to himself. But deep down, Noah knew that the result would still be the same no matter which day it is. This was his 4th attempt, after all. Splurt. Splurt. Scree. Noah was looking idly at the river below him when he heard soft and wet footsteps, followed by a short squeal from his side, which prompted him to turn his head in confusion. A few yards away from him, on the sidewalk, was a crab that was slowly moving in his direction. No, wait. Noah looked at the creature with confusion in his eyes. The creature, although similar to a crab, had small tentacles extending from its front and back, and its skin didn't seem to be covered in a hard exoskeleton, like those of crabs, but rather seemed soft and squishy, like a fish. Is it some sort of an endangered amphibian or something? Noah stared at the creature, fascinated by its appearance. It wasn't every day that he could see a new and rare animal. Splurt. The creature stopped moving, and then moved its front part of the body, where Noah assumed the head was located to be, in his direction, as if it was peering in his direction. Noah, amused by its actions, raised his hand and waved at the creature. What the matter? Noah asked, as he pointed his finger at the river below. Want to go in the water? Sure. All of a sudden, the creature leapt upward from the pavement and onto Noah's face, and Noah could feel multiple sharp objects pinching the skin of her face, as the surprising weight of the creature's body in the speed at which the creature collided with his face, pushed his body backwards. And then, losing his balance on the railing, Noah fell down from the bridge and into the river. Beast Soul. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.